Right, as you can see we're into one, just been down the bank, getting one of John's fish out of the marginal snags. Took us about half hour, but he's got a 44-pound common waiting in the retainer, we'll show you that. And this one's given us a good scrap so far. The big bed of bait, I've written that off. Single hook baits are doing it everywhere now, so we're going to stick to the singles. Looks like we'll be taking 30 kilo of mainline home, but it's still going. So I'm going to net this, we'll get her on the bank and show you. Here she comes. Come on, girl, come on. Get in there! Sweet. Happy days. Got a nice 30, nice one. Right, cracking £39, 3 ounce mirror. Give me a hell of a scrap and caught on a single hook bait. As I say, the big bed of bait's not having it. And a little single seemed to temper, so we'll get her back and we'll try and get a few more sweets. Off she goes. One last glance at her. Cheers, baby.
Size April.
She didn't look that big on video. I didn't expect it to go 39, that's for sure. But
back on it,
I mean, you can see by the width on it. Happy days. There we go, John. How big, mate?
44 ounces.
Cracking fish, taking your breath away a bit, innit?
Yeah.
Stunner. Well done, mate. What'd you catch her on?
A single cell, 18mm, topped with a bit of floating yellow sweetcorn.
Well done, matey. Good angling. Okay, lovely 28-pound 10-ounce mirror. She's got a bit of a love bite on her there by the looks of it. Caught a little single hook bait, no freebies around it. And I was just contemplating whether to move swims or not. Got everything packed down, was going to move into swim 8. But this has made me a bit more indecisive. So what we'll do is we'll pop her back and then we're going to have a look. And I'll do a few updates and I will decide whether I'm going to move into swim 8 or stay and swim through. Lovely. There you go, Johnny, blown away, 44-pound, wasn't it?
Yeah, 44.
Caught on a little cell, wasn't it? A little bit of cell.
18mm cell, yellow sweetcorn, topper on it.
Again, 240s on that now. Well done, mate. Cracking.
Lovely.
Well, we've gone and done it again. The lad's gone up the top for a social, and I've stuck it out in the swim, kept the rods out, and I've been rewarded with a new PB common. £34, 8 ounces. Absolute stunner. Absolutely scale perfect. Give me an incredible scrap. She's a bit lively because she has been in the retainer, but it's nothing we can't handle. Look at her. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Probably the best looking fish I've caught from Lac de Jouvignac. On a little 15mm amber strawberry pop-up, plugged in some cell dip, but because we're starting to lose light, I'm going to go for all the rigs and bait and sort of that lot tomorrow, so we'll pop this beauty back and we'll get the rods back out. Stunning. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys an update now. I haven't been doing much in terms of updates, blogging and that over the past couple of days just because I've been sort of too preoccupied with other things. should be priority, but me being me, it's not as such. So, we are now in the 4th day. We've got 2 days and 2 nights ahead of us. The week has absolutely flown past. To be honest, I'm a bit disheartened because I do feel like I've not fished to the limits of my capabilities. I've been flapping around, like sort of really indecisive as to what I was going to do in terms of a swim move. I'm currently in swim 3 and I've got a bit of shallow water in front of me. Starts dropping off down to my left hand side, nothing deep, because I've got John fishing next door to me on the left. I can't really access the deeper water. Now at the start of the week it was quite cold and all the fish seemed to be on the other side in the deeper water down in swim 8. And then we had a really, really warm southwesterly wind a couple of nights back, smashing down there for about 12 hours. And I was flapping around sort of, do I move down there, do I stay here? I've seen fish up in swim 1 where it was really shallow, although it was freezing. But then the amount of fish sort of showing up in front of swim 8 and the fish that my dad was catching from swim 9 was unreal. It sort of doubles the amount I was seeing up here. So I packed everything down, got ready to move. Literally had the rods left, sure enough, one of the rods went off. So I thought, okay, perhaps now that Rich, who was fishing the stock pond, has jumped into swim 12, I thought that might start to circulate the fish a bit. So I've stayed in this swim for a couple more days, and yeah, had 2 bites since last night and unfortunately lost both of them. Absolutely gutted. So I've had 8 bites now, 4 fish, so I've banked 50% and lost the other 50% of fish that I've hooked. So I'm really going to, for these last couple of days, I'm really going to focus, sit on my rods, fish as hard as I possibly can. Now, last night, the weather has warmed up considerably and the water temperature, I do believe, dropped about 6 degrees from the start of the week, sort of halfway through, but it's starting to rise up again. Now that is making me want to move down into swim 1. The only swims that are vacant on this lake are the double swims down the end, swim 8, and they're sort of unfishable as such. I wouldn't have much water in front of swim 8. But we've got swims 1 and 2 up here to my right hand side, which controls a lot of water. It's a good sort of 1.5 acres, 2 acres of water that no lines are going into. And last night I cannot count on 2 hands how many fish I heard up there. So what am I going to do to break everything down, go down to swim 2 or swim 1 next door, peg up for the last couple of nights, or I might even just go around there for the day, fish there during the day, and then when the temperature drops at night, thought behind it, the fish are probably going to move into the deeper water. But with that being said, there were a lot down there last night, so it could be worth doing a couple of nights in there just for the last sort of 48 hours worth of nighttime fishing that we have left ahead of us. Yeah, that's about it really. I mean, the other lads are catching a lot. Everyone's had a 40 but myself, but I can't complain. It's not about size to me, I'm enjoying it, it's a holiday. I've come out to enjoy myself and I have done. It's been really good, it's been fantastic. Obviously, as I said, I didn't expect the catch rates to be as high, but I'm not going to lie, I did not expect them to be this low either. But that's just me losing fish and the little things that I've got to work on and sort of sharpen up on. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to spend today focusing, as I've said. I'm going to sit in this swim, I'm going to have a look around, and hopefully by midday I'm going to decide what I'm going to do. I've spent too much time flapping around, do I move, do I stay, do I move? And I think in that time, if I would have just moved around to swim 8, I could have had a couple of fish, and if that died off down there, I could have moved back up here. But it's you learn from your mistakes, so key, do not fluff around. If you're going to move, gamble, go for it. But we'll see how the rest of today goes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run you through my bait application, my bait and approach, and also I'll do a little bit on rigs as well. I did say I'd do some of that common, but I haven't had the opportunity to. I mean, we lost light pretty quickly after I had that 34-pound 8-ounce common, and well, it's not too long been light, so yeah, I'm going to crack on with it, get the kettle on, have a coffee, and hopefully we might even have a fish before I do any more formal vlogging. So I'll catch up with you guys in a bit, but until then, wish me luck. Okay, as you can see, I'm not in my swim at the moment, so I'm in fact in swim 2. Now I've been in here for about half an hour, just having a look for some fish as I said I was going to do, and you'll be pleased to know that I've seen a couple. Now last year, for those of you that saw my blog, I had 42 bites out of this swim, 26 fish, and the ratio's not too great, I know, but I know how this swim fishes to an extent. Obviously I don't know the place like the back of my hand, but out of all the swims this will be the one that I reckon I'll have the most fish out of, and I'm now sort of kicking myself thinking, why on earth didn't I move here yesterday or the day before? So I've seen a few fish moving around, which is good. As I say, swim 1 and 2 are currently vacant. and all the rest of the swims are taken, other than the few down the end which are being fished in front of anyway. So there's not a single rig going in here. Now I think that can make a big difference. Last year I was in here, and we had my dad and then a couple of other lads the next 2 swims up. Now as soon as my dad moved around into the swim that he's fishing now, which is swim 9, it really did kick off. Like, the fish started to move around, and I think that sort of retrieve of 3 lines and the gaps in between the swims can make a big difference to the fish. Now we had some dummy rods in swim 12, but there's someone fishing there, so if I move out of swim 3 and move into swim 2, it's going to be the exact same situation and sort of setup that I was in last year. Now I've only just thought of it, and as I say, I'm kicking myself, because that could have a big impact on the sort of fish count and the catch rates. But I went out in the boat earlier on, and I was saying that I don't think the fish are going to be in the shallow water and all that. Well, I disturbed the fish literally inches from the bank. A big old boy will come up, and it's only about 2.5, 3 foot there, so I do think that this could end up producing a few fish. So what I'm going to do, I am confident with how I've got my rigs placed in swim 3. As I say, I've seen some fish out in front of swim 3, but what I'm going to do is wait till I get a bite. When I get one fish, I'm going to jump into this swim, get plotted up, and do the last 2 nights in here. But yeah, the temperature and the weather has taken a turn for the best too. The temperature was shot up by about 15 degrees in the past half an hour. Sounds ridiculous, but it was really hot until the cloud covers come over. But blue skies for a change, none of this rain business. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my swim now. I've got a rough idea, or a very clear idea of where I'm going to place my rods in this swim. Exact same positions I did last year. Hopefully we can have a few fish. What I'm going to do though is, in the time it's going to take me to get my gear into this swim from there, I'm going to get one of the lads to whiz around with the camera, and hopefully we'll get a couple of people to do a few vlogs on rigs and stuff, because as you may have noticed, we've had other people involved. Last year it was just mainly me with fish, there wasn't anything else involved in it, but seeing as I've caught nothing this week, I've had to have a bit of a hand from the other lads. So I'm going to get them involved and show you how we're all fishing, different styles and such, and so on. So I'm going to crack on with it, go get the kettle on it again, and then hopefully the next vlog will be me with a kipper. So we'll see how it goes, and I'll see you in a little while. Well, as you may be able to see behind me, I am 1 rod down. Reason being, sure enough, it's the first prediction I've got right whole holiday. Fish are down that right hand side in front of swim 1. Got the rod out, spot on the money I was catching from last year, and 10 minutes, zipped off, absolutely ripped off, bent into it, and it was just going and going and going. It would not stop. I saw it boil, come up to the top a few times, and it was a good fish. I know it's going to be a case of the one that got away, and it's always going to have felt bigger, but I saw it surface, and it was a very good fish. I'm gutted, absolutely gutted. I've just got everything sort of right for once. I knew the fish were down there, and I've got onto them, and to lose 3 fish in a day when the fishing isn't easy is, I don't even know how to describe it. Without swearing, I can't really. Absolutely gutting, so I'm going to get the rods out. It's going to be the last vlogger for today. It's getting dark, well, I say getting dark, we're losing light. So I'm going to do a few vlogs tomorrow, but gutted, absolutely gutted. Just need to stop sulking and get the rod out, so that's what I'm going to do, so I'll keep you updated.